Hi, so today I really wanted to talk about the mother, the daughter, and the correlations between the two moons in astrology, and just what I've picked up off of my experience with astrology and also counseling people and what I've seen in with these dynamics. So I'm going to be referring back and forth to my book so I can talk to you guys about this. So the moon in astrology really relates to your emotions, how you emotionally meet those needs, how you nurture yourself, how you feed yourself internally, and your overall emotional happiness is derived from the moon's needs being fulfilled. So when we think about mother in astrology, we think about always the moon. That is the first thing that I look at in a chart when I'm doing a reading for a client. I want to see, how does this client nurture themselves? What do they internally need to feel grounded and safe? So your birth moon, the sign that your moon was placed in, the constellation that the moon was in at the time of your birth, is really going to tell you a lot about your mother, or the relationship that you've had with your mother, or the kind of nurturing that your mother gave to you, or that you received from her as you were growing up. What you watched and how you saw things being projected in terms of the emotional need or the nurturing need that you needed. So it's basically your organic nature, the moon, and it's really a theory of nurture versus nature. Psychologists talk about this, and which one is really more of the influences. Is it the nurturing of the parent or the nature of the child? And to me personally, I feel like it's both elements working together with that one individual. So it's the reactions and patterns you've learned from your mother as a child on how to take in information, because the moon is a luminary planet. It is illuminated, is being the energy and the light of the sun is being sent into the moon, and the moon is reflecting that light back. So basically the energy and the love and the nurturing that you're receiving going inward as a child is what we're looking at with the moon. So if your moon's needs were not nurtured when you were a child, you end up feeling emotionally unhappy, and this leads to resentment from the daughter to the mother, or the daughter to either feminine energy or energy of female entity in general. So the moon's rhythm is strongly linked to a woman's monthly cycles. If you really check how the moon moves, you'll see that the menstrual cycles of the woman is strongly linked to that. So the word moon, the word month, is actually derived from the word moon. It is originated from the word moon, the word month, and how the cycles go for the moon. So from the new moon to the next moon, it's a 29-day cycle, and we always link that to the female cycle coming, menstrual cycle coming every 29 days. If it's regulated, it's coming every 29 days. This is the way that nature has intended for this female's body to release all the emotions from inside of the female. So fertility and childbirth is also a really big part of the moon. This is why we link the moon to mother-daughter relationships, because of the fertility and the childbirth aspect of it as well. So there is an emotional release that happens during the full moon, during a menstrual cycle, and during childbirth. So there is a big correlation there between how is the moon working with this individual and the individual's mother that birthed this individual, and releasing all of that energy that it was holding in for the 9-month period that she was pregnant. So the moon has a great affinity over feminine energy, and this is why, again, we link the moon and the mother together to that specific individual. But it's also more a receptive side, like I said, of ourselves. So what have you learned from your moon element? Finding out the element of your moon as a woman is essential for you as a feminine creature to be creative, for your creative energy to flow, for you to feel like you're being nurtured and you can give love and receive love in a very healthy way without feeling like you're being threatened. It's a very, moon is ruled by Cancer. So Cancer does like to protect the domain of the home, the domain of the house, the domain of the children. So the moon is the nurturing aspect that protects the child. And when the child does not get that protection that it needs, or the nurturing that it needs, the child is then felt leaving very, very just alone, and not really provided for in the proper manner. So the child goes out using that feminine receptive energy and going outward like the sun, or like Mars, which is more male energy, to try to get that nurturing that should have came from the mother, the source. So it's very important for a natural release of energy. Otherwise, there is fatigue, there's stress, there's sickness sometimes in women. There is also moodiness. There can be a lot of blockage and clogging for women in their sex organs when their moon function is not functioning properly, or they're holding in emotions, because the moon also symbolizes our emotional need. And if we didn't properly receive the emotional attention that we needed, or the emotional nurturing that we needed from the source, from mother, there tends to be a build up of a lot of emotional tension within the female body, within the female reproductive system as well, which can cause sometimes some sickness, or maybe some female issues down there, if there has been some holding of a lot of things as well. So when a woman's moon is not properly cared for by the mother, there is a subconscious feeling of neglect in the emotional world of the daughter. So then in turn, we learn by what we live, not usually what we read in books. This is later on in life when you learn different ways of knowing how to nurture yourself. But as a child, the initial nurturing of self is from the mother, and watching the mother and seeing the mother, and how the mother is giving that vibration to the child as well. So, and the feminine energy needs a healthy outlet for emotion. It really, really does, or else there is going to be a really big situation of emotional unhealthiness and instability as well in a woman. And women, we are emotional creatures, so it's very, very important that we have an outlet for that emotional release. And this is why full moons are such a strong and powerful time for a lot of people, because this is the heightening of the emotions for a woman. This is when her emotions are the highest, and this is when you can feel the vibrations of her senses a little bit more. So finding out the element of your moon, whether your moon is in a fire element, whether your moon is in an air element, whether your moon is in a land element, or whether your moon is in a water element, is really going to help you understand how to nurture that moon. Also, to finding out the element of the person that nurtured you, whether it be your mother or whoever else was a woman figure that was really strongly influenced in your life, you will find out the dynamics of the elements of your mother's moon and your moon, and are they working together? Were they able to work together? Is there a contradiction between the two moons? Did you have a fire sign moon mother and you were a water sign moon child? Was there an affinity? Was there vibration that worked a little bit better for these two moons? Because the different elements of the moons will tell you different ways in which the moon goes about getting what it needs for its nurturing element. So I would say around the age of 28 and around the ages of 57. This is before the first Saturn return. Excuse me, this is before the first Saturn return. This is before the second Saturn return. I find that there's issues. The issues of the moon will be very, very apparent. I get a lot of clients that tell me they're going through something. You look at the chart and you're really seeing that they're about to go through a Saturn transit. And when you think about that, it initially works with time, because Saturn is the planet of responsibility. It's the planet of reality, in the material physical world, what we're touching, our body, what we're feeling, what we, what's here, what are we seeing? And the moon is more invisible. It's more of a of a knowing, of a feeling of sense of something. You know, when you walk into a room and you feel vibrations, usually that's an emotional element working from the undertones of things. So the child can feel the vibrations, the undertones of a shift about to happen. And the fact that they're not emotionally stable can cause the reality, which is Saturn, causing the child to feel a little bit unbalanced. It doesn't have to just be a child. It could be anyone of any age. When we're dealing with the moon, we're just talking about the nurturing process of this situation right here. When the Saturn return is coming, the issues become even more heightened, even more intensified if the moon was definitely not nurtured properly, because Saturn rules Capricorn. Capricorn is opposite of Cancer. You know, Cancer is the home. Capricorn is the outside world. They work together. They're opposite signs. So if your outside world, let's say you're a woman that's out there, you're getting a career, you're absolutely happy, you're enjoying life, but your internal emotional satisfaction and comfort and nurturing and providing for yourself is not there, there is going to be an imbalance, a really big imbalance in terms of how the woman still feels as if she's getting some type of energy that is rejuvenating her. Because remember, the moon is mother. It is rejuvenating all of the organs of the female as well. This is why we have the menstrual cycle and we bleed every month, for us to release all of that as well. So, the relationship between the moon and the daughter, the relationship between the moons of the mother and the daughter will greatly influence the daughter's relationship with other women as well. So when you look at the dynamics of a mother-daughter duo and you see that they're probably not getting along, or they're probably not having the best vibration, you most likely will find that these are the kind of women that tend to have relationships a little rocky, or their relationships with other women tend to be a little shaky, because there is no real foundation in the feminine energy from the original source that was providing this energy to that child, to that daughter. So it's whether she has a healthy lunar relationship with other women, how she may respond to being nurtured by her partner, her romantic partner, how she receives love, how she gives love to this partner, how she feels healthy to give love, that she feels safe to give and receive love to a partner. This is also another dynamic of the mother-daughter and the moon combination in this trend. So so if a woman that is not having a genuine, healthy relationship with other women in the outside world, you may want to look at your moon sign. You want to look at the aspects that your moon is making. What house is your moon in? What does the moon need from you? If you didn't receive the nurturing from the mother, how can you, until now, finding out about the element of your moon, the movements of your moons during your birth? Because your birth chart is just a part of your parents' life in that moment. So you're coming to these two birth charts of your parents are coming together and making your birth chart. So you're then until learning, how do I nurture myself with this moon element if I wasn't nurtured properly? And this is the goal and kind of like the job of us as women, because we recycle things, we reuse things, we know how to make things work and multiply things with our entity. This is why we are goddesses as well. We vibrate that, we give that. So learning about your moon and how to nurture yourself will help you. I promise you, it will help you with a lot of self-destructive patterns in relationships. It can also help you heal and nurture any type of old emotions that have still been with you since a really early age. I do a sister circle meeting every new moon with a group of women here in the islands, and it's a beautiful experience when we have everyone together and all the women releasing and setting new intentions on what they want to work on. So I definitely would like to dare some of you women out there that are watching this video, or anyone that is watching this video, doesn't have to just be for women. It can be for anyone that really resonates with this feminine energy, with this energy of reception. So if you would like to, during new moon cycles, if you can, set new intentions and work on releasing all of those emotions and old conditionings that you feel are not healthy for your lunar moon to prosper. Because this not only helps you, this helps the relationship that you're going to have in the future with other women, and it also helps the relationship that you may have one day with your daughter. If you have children, this helps understand your daughter more, to also understand how you can probably yourself as a mother nurture that child's moon so that she can have a better foundation and emotional support in the outside world. So this is just my interpretation from my astrological perspective on what I've seen in birth charts and what I've experienced personally myself in self-healing through the moon cycles and through the rhythms of the moons of mothers and daughters. So thank you again, and I'll see you again next time. Okay, bye.